Once upon a time, in the beautiful and vibrant city of Nakuru, there lived a beautiful woman named Abike. Abike was a very kind woman who lived a simple life as a hairdresser and was quite contented even though she was a woman of little means. Abike had a little shop in a small corner of the major market in her village, Nakuru, where she made the hair of different women while chatting away merrily. Indeed, everyone agreed that Abike was a master of her craft. All the village women preferred to get their hair done by Abike, and even little children would cry and refuse to get their hair done if it wasn't done by Abike. But despite her fame and the population of her clients, Abike hardly had any money, as she barely charged her customers any money at all. All day she would sit in her little shop making hair, and at night time, Abike would go home to her husband, the young and handsome hunter Adewale. Abike had been married to Adewale for over 4 years, but their marriage was yet to be blessed with any children yet. And each time Abike would cry to Adewale about their childlessness, Adewale would hug her, gently reassuring her that God's time is the best and that with time, they too would have and carry their own children. Sometimes, some of the village women would gather and point at Abike, making jokes about her childlessness while calling her barren. All of the happenings further made Abike sad, but she would decide to put her trust in God that at the right time her own babies too would come. On an unusually hot Saturday afternoon, Amokbe, a friend of Abike and a fellow hairstylist, paid a visit to Abike's shop. The duo had been friends since their childhood days and they both learned the art of hair making from the same madam, the popular Ojulugi. Even though they both learned and graduated from the hair salon at the same time, it was an open secret that Abike was better in the art of hair making than Amokbe, and this made everyone think that Abike was going to become the most successful of the duo. But in reality, that wasn't the case, as Amokbe, who wasn't as skilled as Abike, was far more popular and way richer than Abike. On this particular visit, after Amokbe inquired about how business was, volunteered to introduce Abike to a very powerful Baba who can help Abike's business flourish and thereby making her rich in the process. Amokbe said, Abike, look at you. You are beautiful, young, hardworking, and talented. Yet you remain in this little shop in the corner of a local market. Don't you see my shop? It is a mega shop located in the heart of town. I drive the latest car, wear fashionable clothes, and travel to exotic places, and I am not even as talented as you are. Come, let me introduce you to my Baba. He is very good at what he does, and he doesn't disturb, Amokbe concluded. Abike thanked Amokbe and told her to give her some time to think about her proposal, and after some time, Amokbe left for her home. That evening, when Abike got home, she discussed Amokbe's visit with her husband, Adewale, and he strongly warned her not to follow Amokbe to any juju man's house because it almost never turned out right in the long run. Over the next few days, Amokpe wouldn't let Abike rest as she kept reminding Abike about their earlier discussions. Abike pondered, and after a long thought process, she finally decided to follow Amokpe to see the juju man against her husband's advices, thinking to herself, how bad could it be? If this is going to get Amokpe off my back, why not just follow her this once and not go again? Abike informed Amokpe of her decision to go see the medicine man, and the two women decided to meet at a sacred place where 3 footpaths met. The two women met in the secrecy under the shade of a baobab tree and set out for the medicine man's house. Abike found the journey unexpectedly long and tiring and complained to Amokpe about it, who in return assured her that they would soon get to the Baba's house. After a long and arduous journey that lasted 2 whole hours, they finally got to Baba's house. Baba was a wizened old man dressed in nothing but a dirty green wrapper tied around his waist. His right eye was heavily ringed with white chalk and his forehead carried strange ancient markings. After the divination, Baba then gave Abike a small black polythene bag with a skull mark drawn on it and instructed her to pack all the hair that she made at the end of the next business day into it, after which she should bring the polythene bag back to him to finish the ritual process. The next day, Abike waited on end for her customers, but surprisingly, no one came to make her hair. And after some time, Abike started getting worried that she wouldn't be able to fulfill Baba's instructions. So she contacted Amokwe to appraise her of the going ons in her shop. And there, Amokwe devised a means of getting customers for Abike, and this entailed Amokwe sending some of her customers to Abike's shop. As Abike made these people's hair, she would stylishly cut some hair off their head, and at the close of that business day, she swept up the littered hair on the ground and packed them into the black polythene bag, which she promptly delivered to Baba, who in return asked her to come back after 7 days to get the result of the sacrifice. Business continued as usual for Abike. And on the 7th day, Abike went back to her juju man, who gave her a little portion of black soap in a small white plastic container and a little wooden figurine wrapped in a red cloth. Baba said, "My daughter, these are the instruments that would help you accomplish your dreams of wealth. In your right hand is a black soap which you are to have your bath with unfailingly for the next 7 days. And in your left hand is Shigidi." Abike looked on in wonder as Baba explained to her that Shigidi was the deity that would bring her money from the otherworldly realm every 7 days. Baba also gave Abike an expressive warning which she was not to ever forget, which was to always adhere to Shigidi's instruction if she wanted to 1. Continue being rich, and 2. Avert disaster. Abike took the items from Baba and set out on her way home to go and carry out the other end of the ritual. Abike used the soap for the very first time, and that night, Shigidi appeared to Abike in her dreams in the form of a very beautiful woman and demanded that Abike give her stream water to drink. Early the next morning, Abike set out for the stream and got a pitcher full of water which she gave to Shigidi in a clear white calabash. That day, Abike's shop was overflowing with customers and she made a lot of sales that very day and for the next 7 days. After the 7-day period elapsed, business slowed down and Abike barely had any customers at all, and this prompted her to go back to Amokbe, who then reminded Abike that the instruction Baba gave her was to use the soap every 7 days. Abike thanked Amokbe, went back home and prepared her ritual bath, which she did that night. As usual, Shigidi appeared to Abike in the dream at night and demanded for 7 3-mouthed kola nuts, which was to be bought from 7 different markets. Abike got up early the next morning and set out for all the different markets in her locality and got the items that Shigidi demanded for. As the days went by, Abike kept fulfilling Shigidi's request, and the more requests Abike fulfilled, the more ridiculous the requests became. Sometimes Shigidi would request for cow's blood, and at other times she would request for the cow itself. At other times, Shigidi would tell Abike to go out at odd hours of the night to do odd and unspeakable things. But oddly, the more odd assignments Abike carried out, the more richer she became. All of these happenings did not go unnoticed by Adewale, and one day he sat Abike down and asked her the reason why she was always leaving the bed at the dead of the night, and he also queried her on the source of her new-gotten wealth. But Abike cunningly lied to her husband and used the excuse of preparing their night meal as a way out of the conversation. Things continued to go on as normal for Abike, with Shigidi asking for things that were quite weird, but not above the reach of Abike. And after some time, Abike relaxed and started basking and enjoying the nicer side of life. Maybe Amokwe was right. Maybe there really is nothing to fear. Abike thought to herself as she sat in her now luxurious shop chewing an apple. But one day, something happened that changed the dynamics of things for her. Abike found out that her long-time sorrow had finally come to an end as she was finally pregnant. Joyously, Abike ran to share the news with her husband Adewale, and together the duo went to the shrine of Oshun, the great mother goddess, to give thanks, believing that she had finally heard their pleas and blessed them with a baby of their own. The mood around Abike changed entirely, and there was a lighter lift to her steps. Her prayers were finally answered, and very soon she would have a child of her own. Time passed quickly, and in the blink of an eye, 9 months had come and gone. Abike gave birth to a beautiful baby girl whom she named Adediwura. Adediwura roughly translates to "my crown is made of gold." And indeed, Adediwura was the gold of her parents' eyes. They ensured that she had everything a little child could ever crave for, and she never lacked for anything in life. But something struck Abike as odd because since after the birth of Adediwura, Shigidi hadn't asked for any sacrifice like she used to. And anytime Abike made mention of the fact to Amokbi, she would simply answer her by saying, "Calm down, Abike. When the time is right, the deity would seek its atonement." After hearing this from her trusted friend, Abike put her fears to rest and concentrated on bringing up her beloved daughter Adediwura. But one fateful night, Shigidi appeared to Abike in a dream. And this time around, she was dressed in a black gown and headscarf, and her luscious lips were lined with black stains. Blood was streaming from her eyes, and her fingers were long and sharp like double-edged swords. And she was standing with her back to Abike. For a long time, the duo stood like that, with Abike on her knees, while Shigidi stood before her. Suddenly, Shigidi turned to face Abike and gave her a terse instruction. She said in a terse but steady voice, "I want you to pound and sacrifice your daughter before the dawn of the 7th day from today." And with this, she disappeared in a puff of white smoke. Abike jumped awake with a startled cry, and this drew the attention of her husband, who asked her what the problem was, but she assured him that all was fine and he should go back to sleep. With fear running down her spine, Abike went to where Adediwura lay sleeping and put her hand on her forehead, and to her utmost relief, she found her baby sleeping peacefully with not so much as a hair on her head harmed. Abike could barely sleep throughout the rest of the night, and at the first cock crow the next morning, she had woken up, strapped her baby to her back, and started preparing to go see Amokbi in hopes that the latter would be able to give her a solution to her very fearful dreams.